Hey guys, welcome back to the Decon Detailing YouTube channel. On today's video, we're going to go over the Koch Chemie or the KCX polish system, as well as give you a demonstration of the cutting and finishing ability of each of the polishes and their pads. So KCX has a wide variety of polishes available in the US market right now. Here are the 5 that we have in the US right now. So the first one's going to be their heavy cut compounds. This is their H901. What I like about these polishes is that it gives you their cut and their finishing ability on the bottle itself, and the finishing ability on the bottle itself. So in the top right corner you can see the 9, so this is the amount of cut it has, and then it finishes out to a gloss of 5. This is a really gritty compounding polish, really good for sanding or getting rid of any heavy defects. It can remove up to 1200 grit sanding marks, which is really powerful and probably one of the stronger compounds that you can find on the market these days. Their pads are color coded, so this is the heavy cutting pad. As you can see, this foam is very dense in structure, doesn't have a lot of give to it. It does have the red backing plate to let you know that it's going with the red compound. This is a DA polishing system or even a rotary system pad. It's pretty universal. This foam pad itself has a very coarse texture to the foam, so that lets you know that it's going to give you a lot of cutting ability. So once again, this is good for getting through those 1200 grit sanding marks, and we'll show you a demonstration of this pad and the H901 cutting compound soon. So once you've done your cutting and you've gotten the majority of the defects out, your next step is going to be to polish. So for their polish, they have their fine cut polishing system. It has a cutting ability of 6 and a finishing ability of 7. This polish goes along with their fine cut pad, which is also color coded yellow. This foam is just a little bit softer, same kind of structure and in terms of cell density and just design of the foam pad, but the face of the pad that touches the surface is just a little bit softer, has a little bit more give to it for having that better finishing ability. So we'll see how this works well on our test panel today. Now on some paints you might be able to get a really good finishing ability out of just the fine cut polish, but if you want to get the most amount of gloss out of your paint and your clear coat, you'll move on to their micro polish, which is the purple color. They have 2 different polishes. So there's the M302, which is their micro cut compound or their micro cut polish. This one is body shop safe. It doesn't have any silicones in it, but they also do have their P301, which is their micro cut and finish. So their micro cut and finish is the exact same, almost abrasive technology as the micro cut polish, except that it has a carnauba wax built into it. Now this is not body shop safe, as that has a protection in it, which you don't want to use in a body shop because it's going to cause a lot of issues when you're painting fresh panels. But for the person who's looking for a very light one step, this is a good polish for you. You match this with their purple pad, which is their micro cut pad, which is also purple. So you match this with the purple pad. This is their micro cut pad. Same black foam structure design. However, this one is much softer, has a lot more give to it than the other pads, and is better for finishing out softer paints. And this has a great finishing ability to it and is just an awesome pad. So we'll see how this works on our test panel for removing some 2000 grit sanding marks. Now you could do a polishing step, you could do a one step with their P301 micro cut and finish. However, they do have a dedicated one-step polish, which has a lot more cutting ability to it and a better finishing. So what they have is their P601. So this is their new one cut and finish. So this has a great cutting ability to it with a cutting ability of 6, and has great finishing with a finishing ability and gloss ability of 8. Once again, this does have a sealant built into it, so you can do a one step on the paint and have a protective finish at the end once you wipe it off. I'm pretty sure you do have to let the residue sit on the paint for about 20 minutes or so to allow that sealant to set up in the clear coat, and then you'll be good to wipe it off. Like I said, this is probably good for a lot of mobile detailers who are looking to provide just a gloss enhancement polish for the customers, someone who just wants a shinier car but doesn't really care for full correction. This is a cheap and effective alternate to a full paint correction for your customers. So this has a a good versatility in the mobile detailing world. And like their other polishes, this also comes with its own pad. So this is the One Cut pad, which is the orange interface, a slightly stiffer foam structure to it. I would say it feels more similar to the Fine Cut pad. However, this is its own dedicated pad. I'm sure there's a different cell structure to it to give it either more or less cut and better finishing ability. But like I said, this has its own pad. This is great for mobile detailers, and we'll see how this works on removing defects on our test panel. So what we've been showing you is their 5-inch polishing pads. They also do make 3-inch pads, which you can see here. It comes in this little box, and this is their 3-inch pads used for smaller throw polishers, for your 3-inch polishers. They also do make smaller sizes, so less than 2 inches, and I also believe they make a 6-inch pad. The 3-inch pad, or the less than 2-inch pads, are coming to the US soon. I believe they were on the boat with the last shipment of Koch Chemie products from Germany. So we should be seeing them soon. They also do have their green pad coming soon. It was in the last order that came in from Germany. So we should be seeing that in the market soon. So when that does come in, we will be doing a thorough review of that pad, and kind of testing it against the different polishes to see what kind of cut we can get with just the one pad. So what we're going to be doing next is testing the pads with their polishes on a test panel. I've already gone and prepped the panel, so it's been washed, clayed, and iron deconned, and I made sure there's no waxes or sealants on the panel itself. And I also went and wet sanded the hood with 2000 grit sandpaper. That way there's a nice uniform finish on the paint. We can get an accurate assessment of the cutting ability from each of the polishes. So let's get started. Alright, so as you can see, we have taken the hood and we've sectioned it out. So we're going to do a single compound or polish on each of the different sections of this hood, and we'll get an accurate assessment of the finishing and cutting ability of the polishes. Once again, this has been wet sanded with 2000 grit sandpaper. It's not perfect, but it will at least give us an accurate representation of the cutting and finishing ability of each of the polishes that we're testing.
Alright, so before we get started, I'm just going to go over the panel with a swirl finder light. This is the Sunmatch 3 by Scan Grip. So as you can see, we have some severe defects, and you can also see all of the 2000 grit sanding marks. So we will see how well each pad and polish and compound works on this panel. The first one up here is going to be the Heavy Cut H901, so let's get started.
Alright, so once again we're going to be using the Heavy Cut compound with the heavy cutting pad. Make sure you give your compound a full shake, that way you're mixing up the abrasives evenly throughout the compound. We're using it with the Rupes LHR Mark III, or LHR 15 Mark III. So you just want to do is line up your backing plate on your machine. Make sure it has even contact. So next what we'll do is we'll take our polish, or we'll take our compound, excuse me, and we'll put about, that didn't come out very pretty. We'll put a couple dime-sized drops on our pad. And then what we're going to want to do is just spread that in. That way we get even coverage on the pad. Put it flat against the panel, and we'll start at about speed 3. Alright, and as you can see, the pad, or the polish and the compound worked itself around the pad evenly. And we'll see our results. I'll say this, for a compound as heavy as the compound this was, the wipe off is absolutely amazing.
Alright, so as we can see, we did a number on removing the swirls and the sanding grit marks that we have on this test panel. As you can see, there are some larger defects. I can definitely feel this, and it's catching on my fingernail, so that is all the way through to the base coat of the hood, so that would never come out anyway. However, we have removed a large amount of defects from this hood. Like I said, this panel is absolutely trashed with different marks, but look at the improvement that we got.
Alright, so on our next line, what we'll do is use the fine cut polish. So here we go, we're using the yellow fine cut pad. And then once again, we're just going to apply about 5 pea-sized drops on our pad. Alright, so now that we got our pad prepped and primed, we're going to do the same step. Alright, let's wipe this off. Once again, the wipe off is very easy with this one as well.
Alright, now let's bring you in for a close-up. So, it's kind of hard to tell on camera because this hood is so trashed. But there is a lot more gloss out of this panel than the previous cutting one. I don't know if you can tell. But it was able to get out a majority of the sanding marks. There are still some deeper swirls in here, but like I said, this is a trashed junkyard hood, so I don't think this was going to come out anyway. But just the user experience from this polish was absolutely amazing.
Alright, next we're going to try out the one cut and finish. So this is the Koch Chemie with the KCX, the actual one-step system. So we'll give our polish a shake. And then once again, we're going to do about 5 pea-sized drops. We'll see how well this works on these 2000 grit sanding marks.
Alright, flip our towel.
Ooh, the wipe off on this one is just buttery smooth.
Alright, now we'll bring you in for a close-up. Here we go. So here's the area that we were able to actually get some good correction out of.
Alright, so the next panel that we're going to try is over here. So we're going to just use their micro cut finish polish on this, and I'll be really surprised if I can get some good correction out of this one.
And this panel doesn't have as many super heavy sanding marks in it, but there are a lot of rock chips and defects like you would expect on a junkyard hood. But I'll say all those 2000 grit sanding marks are basically gone.
Alright, the last polish we're going to test,
Similar to the microcut, is their P301, so this is their microcut and finish. Alright, give this a little bit of a wipe. Easy wipe off. Ooh, this one is my favorite so far, I think. I think that added wax in the polishing formula just really helps with that wipe off. Makes it feel buttery smooth. Man, even the surface is just buttery smooth.
make sure if you're interested in any of these products to go check out the radcompany.com. You can find all their products online. You can also find their products at Obsessed Garage, so go check that site out also. So if you liked the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe, share with your friends, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.